Listen, boys. First off, I want to put a special thank you to Jersey Jerry having me on his podcast, trying to talk me into going to Pittsburgh. It's a phenomenal city. The three lakes meeting together. Heinz Field's right on the corner. They play that dope-ass song on fourth down. So Will and I are going to the Super Bowl to do bus and stuff, to do media row. It's going to be an electric time. We have a whole bunch of podcasts going on. So we send an olive branch out. TJ Watt, his team, we would love to have you on our podcast during Super Bowl week. You'll be there. We'll be there. We'll come to you, do whatever you need to do. Just come and hit the boys. And this motherfucker just told us no. He just denied us for the third time in a row. I don't know. That's just, if they want us to be teammates, it kind of just feels like that's bad teammate vibes, right? We've had our past. Yeah, I spit in his face. I hit him in the nuts one time. Like, that is, listen, hand up. That's on me. But damn, boys. Like, can we turn a page?
Is that bloke for real? Like, for real? Is that really... To me, that's not an apology. I don't know what's going on. So there's been some rumors, guys, out in Steeler Nation that Lewan could be possibly the left tackle for the Steelers in the future. I'll get into the video a bit more, but I just wanted to show you that first bit, and now I'm going to break it down. And that is not an apology. So let's break it down a little bit. I want to break this down because this to me is just, I don't know why, I'm a bit infuriated about this. That this guy seems a bit more smug and ego, and the fact that he spat in someone's face, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. He spat in TJ's face, but he brought this video out, as I showed you before at the start, and it's an apology, I guess, to TJ Watt, and he's trying to, I guess, market himself to become a Pittsburgh Steeler. We're pushing that narrative anyway. He's pushed that narrative on Twitter. He's pushed that narrative on his podcast a few times, talking about, talking about the value of what he wants, maybe $30 million or $40 million. But let's listen together, the audio again, and I'm going to break a few of these things down, if we can.
Listen, boys. First off, I want to put a special thank you to Jersey Jerry having me on his podcast, trying to talk me into going to Pittsburgh. It's a phenomenal city. The three lakes meeting together.
3 lakes, 3 rivers.
Heinz Field's right on the corner. They play that dope-ass song on fourth down.
They play Renegade on fourth down.
So Will and I are going to the Super Bowl to do bus and stuff, to do media row. It's going to be an electric time. We have a whole bunch of podcasts going on. So we send an olive branch out. TJ Watt, his team, we would love to have you on our podcast during Super Bowl week. You'll be there. We'll be there. We'll come to you, do whatever you need to do. Just come and hit the boys.
That's not too bad. Hit it with the boys. Send an invite out to a podcast. Sure, that's fine.
This motherfucker just told us no.
Then he calls him a mother effer.
He just denied us for the third time in a row. I don't know.
Here it is too. TJ Watt denied you for the third time in a row. So simply enough, he wants nothing to do with you. If TJ Watt is saying no, then I respect that 100%. And here's why.
Teammate vibes, right? We've had our past. Yeah, I spit in his face.
Hold up. Hold up. You spat in a man's face and you're wondering why that he won't come on your podcast. You spat in a man's face. And then he goes on to say he kicked him in the groin as well. How does he expect TJ Watt to come on the show and do a podcast? That, to me, getting spat in the face is actually worse than getting punched in the face. It's devaluing someone as a human. You spit in someone's face. That is saying that they are lesser than you. That person right in front of you who you're spitting on, it's disgraceful. And if you're spitting on someone's face, then you are saying you are lesser than me. I walk over you. That's terrible, man. We all knew, too, that Trey Turner last year, I think Trey Turner in 2021, I think it was, that the former Carolina guy who was a Pittsburgh Steeler for the 1 year, he spat on someone in a game as a Steeler. Pittsburgh Steelers don't do that, or the true Steelers don't do that. The guys like Minka do not do that. Cameron Hayward doesn't do that. Now, of course, Cameron Hayward got accused 1 year of punching someone, but he was simply trying to get up. That to me is honestly, you wonder why, Taylor. You wonder why TJ Watt doesn't want to come on the show. It's because you spat in his face. Listen. Yeah, I spit in his face.
I hit him in the nuts one time. Like that.
What do you expect?
That is, listen, hand up. That's on me.
That's on me. That's your apology? What a weak-ass apology.
Damn, boys. Like, can we turn a page?
And he ends near the end. Can we turn a page? No, we can't turn a page. If someone ever spat on my face, I'd probably never forgive them. Ever. I hold grudges. I hold grudges really bad, to be honest. But you expect him to come on your podcast after you spat in his face in the game. And I didn't know that. This is the first time I've heard that news. He spat in his face and you kicked him in the groin. And here's the rumors, guys. So there's rumors going around that Tyler Lewan could possibly, be a left tackle for the Steelers. And we don't know if it's going to happen or not. He's a free agent. I think he's had also a few injuries over his past too, right? But these rumors weren't started by the Pittsburgh Steelers. These rumors were pretty much started by guys in his camp, guys in his podcast that are saying, where are you going to be? So I don't really put too much truth into it. Now, a few weeks ago, I thought, yeah, it wouldn't be too bad seeing Taylor Lewan as a left tackle. Maybe that Dan Moore can back him up. But right now, I don't want to see him as a Steeler. If TJ Watt doesn't want to do podcasts with him, then why do I want to see him as a Steeler? So it all started with this. It started with these colors go so hard back about 3 weeks ago, right, in January. Jersey Jerry, whoever that bloke is, tweeted this, and we all went, oh, my goodness, that Taylor Lewan wants to be a Steeler. He loves the colors, right? We're all got pretty hyped up, We all felt that. Then he went on to yesterday and said, Steelers fans want me to come to Pittsburgh, but TJ Watt just denied coming on a podcast for the third time. I know we've had a negative encounters, TJ, but let's turn the page, brother. This is bigger than both of us. Well, not really. Not really, right? If TJ Watt doesn't want nothing to do with you, he wants nothing to do with you, you move on. You respect that. Now I even respect TJ Watt more than ever. If that was even possible, I respect TJ Watt more than ever. This bloke spat in your face. Obviously, he doesn't want to go on your podcast. He says no, then leave him alone. So I don't know what you think, Steeler Nation, but I don't have no time for him now. Now, if the Steelers go out and sign him, sure, I got to, swallow my pride and cheer the guy on to be left tackle, cheer the guy on to be a Steeler. But you're not making yourself a case. Releasing that video and saying you spat on someone is disgraceful, overly disgraceful. I just think that's just, it doesn't make any sense. But going to the numbers side too, he was in that podcast as well. One of the other blokes on the other side of the mic was saying, 7 million, 8 million one year deal, 9 million 1 year deal, 10 million 1 year deal, 11 million, 12 million. He settled around $13 million. I don't want a guy just to come in for 1 year. I want a guy that's going to be there for longevity for the next 5-10 years. I don't want to see just Taylor Lewan come in 1 year and then come out and just use Pittsburgh Steelers as a pit stop. No pun intended, right? I don't want to see that. I want to see someone who wants to play for the organization and someone who isn't as dirty as a player that Lewan is. Now, I understand you can move past your past and you should deserve a second chance. But if TJ Watt doesn't even want to go on the podcast with him, that tells me that this guy is not true value. That tells me that, TJ Watt's saying, I don't want to go on the podcast with this bloke. I can't stand him. Well, you spat in my face. There was talks that apparently in the podcast too that TJ Watt and Bud Dupree were going to go around and rouse him up after, and that never happened. But the Steelers have each other's backs, right? Even with example to Ogunjobi, how he ran down the field and smashed Mason, which is a complete different idea. That was more of a fight, a bit of a scuffle, And then Ogunjobi and Mason, they work their things out and they're teammates now. But I think it's different than someone spitting on someone's face. Like someone spit in someone's face, you hold that. You know that. In the back of your mind, when you're shaking that man's hand, you're like, I know what you did during that game. You boom, on my face. Like it's incredible to me. It's incredible. Anyways, guys, that's the news for that one there. I did see the headline and I watched Deke's video on it too. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to see him in a black and gold Steeler uniform. I just don't want to see it. I would rather stick with Dan Moore and go and draft some depth than bring in a veteran guy like Lewan, who has history with one of our Steelers. And if TJ Watt doesn't want him or doesn't want to do a podcast, then I don't want to see him in the black and gold. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
Coach Let's still win. Let's go for the win, man.